as far as what's been going on, well, only 2 top officials in Spain being jailed since we last spoke to you. This is the ongoing case of the Attorney General, ex-Attorney General. He stepped down, but then there's still the sentencing and thing to come, isn't there? So he's jailed in custody. He's been put in custody for the time being.
At the moment, there is already a resolution or a vote, against that. But the sentence as such, we still haven't received that.
No.
So we don't have a sentence. But I think the magistrates, to avoid the gossip and obviously inside the court, everybody knowing who would vote against and who didn't vote, so that they pretend or they try to deliver it, make a decision, and once they've done a decision, they said they already made a decision. It's very unusual this way because normally you will hold a sentence, release the sentence, and that's it. This probably is the other way around. We have agreed, the 7 magistrates have agreed. Obviously, they made him not go into prison, just to pay a fine, to pay the legal fees, and not to be able to carry on working as a public prosecutor.
Right.
Within 2 years.
That's
because of the leak on the information.
Yes. Yeah, it was an interesting case. But he kind of resigned before he was told he couldn't serve. He stepped down.
I think it was... The order was on Thursday or Friday. Well, the resolution that they said. And on Monday, he resigned. Which,
like he had any choice.
Yeah, I think he had enough. He said, I think probably he would have resigned before, but because of the pressure on the government and things like that, he didn't.
It's one of those terms where we sort of think we know it from maybe US TV shows, but the Attorney General is the chief prosecutor, right?
Yes.
Because there is one for England and Wales, and then you've got your Procurator Fiscal in Scotland. Have their own thing. Yeah, there's a lot of Scottish law. They have their own laws there.
Fiscal. Yeah. All right. So very similar than ours.
It's a similar position, I guess.
Spanish. Yeah. He's appointed by the government. Now a new lady. The good thing is that all of them has accept the new lady very, very good. So as long as he's a professional, a very good and top professional, even though it's a politician approach and appointing, people will accept it because if you're good at your work and your job, even though the government appoints you, but you're good.
Yeah, it seemed to be that she was acknowledged as, good by everyone that was concerned.
However, with the one that is being resigned now, not everybody was happy with him.
Right.
So probably that's another reason that he had more pressure, more than anybody else. But anyway, it's part of the court cases that we deal on a daily basis. I mean, all citizens are used to suffer all these consequences. And I listen to a lot of comments from the politicians. And I say, well, listen, you're the same than everybody else. I mean, it's unfair, or some people are saying it's unfair, the sentence, or it's not correct. I get all these in my life on a very often.
Of course, you see it all the time.
Because, unfortunately, the justice, it doesn't really exist through the procedure. I mean, the procedure tries to be fair and achieve justice. But we are in a field that you really are down to evidence. If you have evidence, fine. If you don't have evidence, then you have a problem. Whether it's true or not, that's probably irrelevant to the procedure, and sometimes we just try to say, oh, this is not justice, Well, one of the teachers from the other universities said, well, justice doesn't really exist as such, it's a procedure. But anyway.
But there's always the danger when it's a high-profile thing like that it can be a mistrial because of press intrusion and, bias or something goes wrong that they can claim. Yeah, that wasn't...
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they're taking it further to the Constitutional Court, which is a politics court anyway, but because of the Constitution, and about a breach. But one way or the other, he has resigned, which I considered obviously reasonable, but I would have resigned even before. I mean, you are in the middle of a procedure, you have this issue, you don't need the institution to go through all this stress.
Right.
And everybody thinking, because us as lawyers, we always have on one side the public prosecutor, on the other side we are ourselves if we are defending the client, or ourselves with the public prosecutor if we are accusing, depending on where you are. But in this case, I just watched the whole, and you could watch it back in YouTube, the trial, the cross-examination. I think they're very interesting, especially for lawyers.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Well.
And to be honest, it's been a very, very good case going through, but it was very difficult to understand Moody, public prosecutor on one side, not accusing the public prosecutor.
No.
You will never see that in life.
Right.
I mean, a public prosecutor always accuses, doesn't it?
Yes, they are the prosecution.
Except
right.
when he's the chief.
Yeah, sure.
So
finds himself
I didn't like that
defending.
because that was honestly, this is not right. I mean, the public prosecutor should go against any possible crimes. And here, in this case, it was the private accusation, the one that did take the case further, but not the public prosecutor.
So as a judge, was it?
No, the judge, it was a tribunal of 7 people. Well, first it was what we call it instructions, due diligence, or
Court of Instruction.
Instructions.
Sure.
But the problem we had is that the public prosecutor was not accusing.
No.
So we were always laughing, saying, well, we wish we had this case. You know,
Yeah, right.
I mean,
we'd
everybody
go for
would
some of
like
that.
to have a public prosecutor that is not accusing him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, characters like that, I say characters, when they come up, are you ever surprised that things like that go on? I don't think I am really.
Yeah.
No, not naming any names necessarily, but when there's a corruption case, you think they're gradually getting found out more and more these days, but it's kind of, especially historically, in Spain, probably anywhere, that it's always gone on, but they are now sort of gradually, one by one, getting found out and getting jailed a lot of the time.
Now we are facing the other case about Coldo case and Avalos case.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Which is still stressing as well. And every day is a different chapter. You know, I'm just watching back as well, and because I love watching, the trial. I mean, I don't like to probably listen to what one newspaper says, or when radio station, Spanish radio station says, and the other one says the opposite. You know, and I like just to
might as well see the thing
just
itself.
See it myself, and then you have your own thinking. Especially when you have the knowledge.
Yeah.
You have the knowledge. You don't need anybody to tell you. You just watch.
Well, yeah. You make your own, opinions
mind.
from it,
and at the moment we are facing a lot of issues with justice, you know, and I think we're reaching a very high scale already, and I don't know how much they're going to last,
right?
Because we are on top.
Yeah,
So,
and the both of these that we've been talking about was, affiliated or close with Pedro Sanchez, of course, in that end of the
So
government.
I really cannot understand how they can put up with all this kind of pressure.
No,
I don't really,
it's a lot.
I don't really think it's worth it, you know, but for some reason they're putting up with it.
There's plenty to talk about between now and 5, including you came in and dropped this bombshell, a new office, sort of, on the Costa Blanca. This is in Calpe.
Yeah, that's right. It's on Main Street, Avenida de los Ejércitos Militares, right? And yes, we got the opportunity to take over an existing office. This department is only about insurance, right? So that office deals with insurance, even though we can have appointments. So Pellicer Heredia took over the pre-existing office from Mapfre. And then we've been dealing with it recently. And there is 3 people in the office. One is retiring. That's why they're passing over.
I see.
And they specialize over there is just on all kind of insurance. As you know, Mapfre is the number 1 in Spain. I would say the biggest in Spain. Yeah. And covers everything. It covers all type of insurance.
So that's, it was a Mapfre office, but you're keeping working with them. Yeah.
We're keeping the logo and everything, because is a company agreement between Mapfre and ourselves.
Sure.
So we got the license to run it because we have the exclusivity in Calpe. Obviously, we're taking over the existing office. Mm-hmm. And the point here, we're trying to help clients with their insurance needs. And all the insurance that they offer are very good, but you have a big variety. You could have from home insurance, which, to be honest, I have it, and it's very, very good. And then you have like travel insurance, death insurance, investments, pets insurance.
Of course, pet insurance, yeah. It's an expensive business otherwise. If you don't have them insured.
And we all, I think, whether we like it or not, we all have insurance, and we need to provide service to clients who might not be happy with their own existing company, and we could give them an offer, or they could even have a consultation about whatever problem they have and opportunities they might have in the future. So we deal a lot with health insurance because of the relocation. So a lot of people trying to relocate into Spain need a private insurance.
Yeah, and that's a recognised one that you offer.
So we try to deal with MAPFRE because they're good. And if you go to a hospital, there's some hospitals, for example, I think there is one in Torrevieja that has a list of the insurance covers and terms and conditions. And you could say when you go there, MAPFRE is the number one that covers most of it, So we chose that one because of the variety of services they offer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big, solid company as well. I think it wasn't Rafa Nadal doing the ads for them on TV.
That's right. Yes, that's right. And the Volvo Ocean Race as well, it was advertised. And they started in Extremadura many years ago.
Wow.
It was an agricultural, I will call it, what will you call it? Like a group of owners.
Collective, sure.
I don't know if you have that in the UK.
Yes, absolutely. That's the way they start out,
and they started only with land. Mm-hmm. And then they develop and develop and develop and grow and grow and grow. And at the moment, they're very strong. They're good. I remember when we used to have an accident. I mean, when you were listening the old days, this guy had an accident, and they said, who are you insured with? And they said, well, I'm with MAPFRE. I said, well, you will have no issues. They will pay. I remember that in the old days.
Right, really?
When there were not that many insurance companies, but you will go and have another one. So basically, the guy who committed the accident or had the accident, if it was in the old days, MAPFRE, it had a reputation that they will pay,
Yeah, okay.
The problem is a multinational now. I mean, in South America, they're very big. Mm-hmm. And they did grow a lot. And
that's not bad if they came out of Extremadura. Not a lot comes from there. I suppose it is a lot of agricultural, but that's the roots. That's the roots of it. If you pardon the pun. But how does this work then with yourself? So you don't try and do insurance yourself. You got the experts there already. You got people.
We have the three ladies there. Is Julia, Vanessa, and Daiva. Mm-hmm. Daiva speaks languages, different languages. Julia is retiring, and Vanessa is taking over, like the head of the office. Right. In the old days, we used to have Carolina in the office. Inside our office, in the Alicante office, right? Mm-hmm. Like trying to accommodate whoever had a need on insurance, she will help. But as we just start growing and moving forward, we thought that was a good opportunity because it was given to us like that. I mean, they wouldn't give that to anyone. They just try to select who they want to partner with, basically.
I got you. Okay.
It's like, and they offer you the license to run it, and then you take it over. And the company who took over is the same as Pellicer Heredia.
Yes.
So you've got the license, you register, we've got the financial advisor's title as well.
Yes, because all of these things kind of overlap, don't they? There's always a legal aspect to it.
Yes.
So you might as well be able to offer it yourself, I suppose, under the one roof.
Yeah, I mean, the way I like, for example, Pedro and myself, we deal more with investments. When it comes to it, and then it's legal, tax, and investment all in one appointment. And that means that if the client wants to talk about investment, we'll bring the accountant in, will be here as well to try to understand what is the best thing for the client or what is not good for him. And then we'll have the financial advisor on the table. Even though Pedro and myself, even though we've got the title, it doesn't matter. We bring the one from Wealth Management, MAPFRE, head office, right? And the beauty of it, because there is a lot of funds that comes from the US or from international, and you don't want to cash it pay the tax and reinvest it probably, because you need to work out how much is costing you.
Yes, always with the tax planning, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not an efficient way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, everything we do it has to have a plan, it has to be efficient, and we need to have the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. And I like to be very transparent with the worst case scenario so we are all in the same boat, all in the same picture. Because when you invest, you need to know what could happen as much as obviously a credit crunch is a credit crunch,
But what's in your control, yeah.
But yeah, if you want to guarantee investment, if you want just to have an account paying you some money and you withdrawing the money in 24 hours, or if you want to just take it further and risk it and then invest it and play with the market, that's another option as well.
Yeah, sure.
But I really like to sit down with the client and talk about everything on the table. And whatever is what they need, that's what they should go for. Is not here is more advising.
No, sure. But what you were just saying to me before we came back on was that they're not going to be forced into taking the MAPFRE insurance. If they've already got a good deal, then you won't change it.
Yeah, no. The whole point, at the end of the day, we're lawyers and tax advisors, and that's the number one. Then we accommodate like a lot of possibilities for clients, and we like to discuss it in a transparent way to see what is the best for them. Because we just carry on representing them, whether they have that insurance or they don't have that insurance. The same with insurance. If they're happy with insurance, that's fine. That's not an issue. That's the beauty of advising clients. Yeah. But it's just giving them options. And that's why we just do cover, because it's always a good option for those who might need it in the future. And but yes, there is certain investment that I wouldn't even touch it. I say no, because it's expensive. I mean, just withdrawing money, paying the tax, blocking the money, it might not be good for you in these circumstances. For example, if you want long-term investments and you want to do it when you're retired and you don't need the money and you have more money in a different account, but it is very important to understand.
Yeah, and that can change all the time. I think one or two things may have changed even with the UK's budget. It was just last week or the week before.
We're getting a lot of Americans as well saying they don't want to have all the eggs in one basket in the US. Mm-hmm. So that's another option. And then talking through, especially when we do a lot of income tax return, and we talk about all the impact and all the options, for example, reselling. I'm not saying is the option for everyone. It's just an option that people don't know. It's like selling a second investment, selling something up to 240,000 euros and investing as an annuity. That's a very tax efficient way if you want that way, because you might not even want the money and you don't have the need to sell it. And you see what I'm saying? So everybody have their own needs.
Yeah, but particularly with the North America, certainly the US, some of the tax things, you've got to be really careful. You need to know, like yourselves, like you do.
It's a matter of tax planning.
Yeah, quite.
And you know what we really enjoy a lot as well? Well, obviously it's helping people. But when you're relocating, you have options. When you're already a tax resident in Spain, you have less options. So if you're a non-tax resident in Spain, you still could work out how much does it cost you while you are while you are a tax resident, let's say US, and what will you be able to do with that money? Or if you did while you were a tax resident in Spain, I mean, that will have an impact from a tax. So here I will pay, 30%, and over there I will pay 10%. We are retiring and we want to know whether we will relocate to Spain in 2027. Mm-hmm. All these questions are essential to have good professionals. And it's good because you end up saving a lot of money, time, stress to people.
Well, there's a lot of looking around as well, because if you can offer everything, someone's relocating from the States, like your man we spoke to in Alicante, I forget his name now, Marty Wood.
Oh, Martin Wood, yeah.
And you were able, it said once you sorted the visa and the property thing, then you can talk about health insurance.
That's right.
How to do it tax efficiently. So, nice, good for yourselves to be able to offer the whole package pretty much. Yeah,
at the end of the day, whoever needs help with insurance, we've got a team there to give them advice, and they could take you further. At the end of the day, is everybody has their own way of doing things, and it is not a problem. But yes, we could have appointments in Calpe. This is a big office, and
nice spot there as well.
And they could pop in because there is always an English-speaking lady there, so they could just pop in as well. But yes, it's a good challenge. It's a good move, and the good thing is that covered us all throughout Costa Blanca, all throughout Spain. So that enables you to do anything throughout Spain. So that's great. And if you need support, Marfred always put you professionals for the specific insurance as well.
Right.
So let's say you want, I don't know, well, for example, if we talk about investment, all type of investments, well, then I will recommend the client, well, let's go, or either the financial advisor will come over to our office or we'll go to their office ourselves as well. So we need to be on the same picture, all of us.
Sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a good challenge.
Great. And that's up and running now? That's
yes.
open, is it? Great.
It's been up and running, that office has been up and running many years, but now it's being taken over by us.
Sure, and it's ready.
After summer, we did take it over.
Now, I'm just looking at your webinar page, latest webinars. That was the last one that sounded like it went pretty well on income and wealth tax in Spain. Yeah,
we talk about income and wealth and investments. We had Rafael from the head office, wealth management. And it did go very well. People were very much interested. I really think we all need to look into this once in a while, know how much tax you're going to end up paying next year, how much your income, your investment is generating. Talk loud, so there is not a quick decision. There is always a process of making decisions, isn't it?
It's always worth an update if you've got investments, and something may have changed that you didn't even know about if you're not watching it carefully.
That's right. I mean, things change, unfortunately, so quick.
Well, tax rates and things, but especially if you've got stuff coming over.
Well, I don't know if you heard about very facto law. Have you heard? Now they disappear for another year.
Yes, this is the invoicing thing, so all to be done. I know because I have to do invoices, and I think my software that I use, which is great, it wasn't compatible. They needed to update it, but I think it's going to be all right. They're working towards it.
We went to a conference with the tax office, and the autonomos or the self-employed who just invoice, and they don't use a program. For example, I'm autonomous as well, and I don't use it for my own. It's not the company, just my own. You don't need to use Verifactor, so you don't need to use the technology, the updating. So for those, probably in your case, if you're invoicing once a month on an Excel sheet and you don't have any other program, you're not obliged. But anyway, neither you, me, or anybody now is going to be obliged until 2027, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we saw that come up, So.
I'm sure because it was a bit pushy, wasn't it? I mean, I think everybody was stressed with that as well. And I don't
maybe
know.
A little bit more time to get things in place.
I think so.
Thank you very much.
I think so. So it's nice to get a break and breathe, and be able to breathe.
Something for autonomos, please. All the help we can get.
Yeah, I wish we all get a government that really concentrate on autonomous, don't you think?
Well, it's probably one of those that they think, if they're self-employed, they're earning thousands. What do we get, like 2 clients?
Yeah,
and that payment that it is sort of tiered, but not an awful lot. I mean, the lowest one is still a lot for someone to find each month.
I think they should promote more entrepreneurs and autonomous.
Yeah,
because there are the motors. I think there is a query about, I think 90 or 95% of the economy is autonomous, is small pyme or autonomo.
Yeah.
So only the biggest companies is a very small percentage on the Spanish economy. So, but I don't know. No government so far are being very, very helpful with autonomous. But we'll see. You never know.
Yes, we're talking about 2027. Let's see what happens then.
Let's make a wish.
But so it's there to watch back in case you didn't see that. But plenty of people did. It's a popular one.
Yeah, we did. They could watch it back. It's already on the web page. And I think it's worth talking. A lot of people ask so many questions about the tax. And yes, we did cover in 1 hour of our time as much as we could. But you could be there forever because, everybody has a question. So.
Yeah, and, depending on which region you're living in, and then there's the wealth tax.
Yeah.
And what's the 3 million one? What's that?
Yeah, 3.7 will pay the allowance for solidarity tax.
Solidarity tax. There we go. So
Yeah.
Didn't come to me.
A lot of I will get these with Americans. They have a big culture of investing and selling everything and putting your investment and living on the IRA or Roth IRA and just living on your retirement pension, right? Which unfortunately, because they're non-European. And Europe is not a product that is ratified by Europe. They are considered, even though there are pensions, they are as well considered to be part of the wealth tax. Now, a lot of people get stressed because of the name wealth tax. Is why would I have to pay again for my wealth? Because if you have a company and that company develops work, you don't pay because it's got employment, people employed, an industry, you don't pay. But if you just have investments sitting in the bank, you pay wealth tax. Now, in Spain, depending on the community that you are, you've got allowances. But the Americans were very surprised sometimes to think, the wealth tax is going to be a lot of money. When you do a workout and a simulation on wealth tax, sometimes you recognize and realize that it's not that much amount of money, and it combines with your income tax return. So you could have extra allowance depending on the result of your income tax return. And only in the States, property tax is much higher than wealth tax.
Oh, right.
Property tax in the States is massive.
Mm-hmm.
So is a bit chilling that because nobody would like to pay taxes, as you know.
No, but as far as you talking to individual people, because not everyone, but a lot of these are going to be different. You're not going to say, right, you're going to be paying this, and this. You have to look into their circumstances, how much they got, and where they're from.
These are that's correct. I could only tell you the rules.
Cross-border, yeah.
That's why I publish it in the website. They could watch it. They would watch it back and read it. The article about wealth tax, what we do in the webpage, income tax, and I update the sliding scales so they could just work out themselves. But no, I agree. No, everybody is the same. Everybody has different circumstances, and that's why it's better not to compare too much to your neighbor or to your friend, because what you should compare is exact figures. Know anything else.
Yeah.
So that's the main mistake I listen sometimes from.
And I suppose where your money is as well, and what it's invested in, whether that's recognised in Spain or not.
And everything is different. I mean, and that's the problem. People try to compare, I pay this, I pay that, but they don't disclose what brings you into it.
No.
They don't, and they say, well, that will be fair for you to compare it, but. So it's better to have a simulation, Moody. That's what we do a lot. I mean, we do video conference with a simulation, income and wealth tax, either for residents and non-residents. Mm-hmm. A non-resident tax expires on the 31st. Well, every year you need to do your non-resident income tax from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. Okay, so everybody who didn't do it now, they better rush up.
Still time to file that before the end of the year. Okay. Yeah, that's another one where sometimes it's June, depending which.
Yeah, I mean residents are April, May, and June.
Mm-hmm.
From January to March, 720. From April to June, income and wealth tax for residents. And from January to December, non-resident tax.
Okay, so if you've got property here that's earning you money.
Correct.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Property without renting or property being rent out.
Mm-hmm.